Hello YouTube fam, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tina and I make videos on lifestyle, home, and DIY projects every single week. I hope you guys are doing well today. I am seriously in such a happy mood. It feels like summer outside. Everything about the changing seasons just makes me so happy and I hope you guys feel the same way. Today's video is all about creating high-end looking items from the dollar store. I know you guys love these Dollar Tree videos and I love making them. These are perfect home decor pieces that you can use in your living room or bedroom. I feel like they're all very versatile and I can't wait to show you guys because these are definitely going to complement your homes. I also want to thank today's video sponsor ButcherBox. I'm really excited to show you guys what I got from them, but I will talk more about them later. And before we jump in, I want to know what DIYs you guys have been working on from the dollar store. You guys always have the best ideas and I would love to hear your thoughts, so leave them down below. Alright guys, let's go ahead and jump into the first DIY project. Hello from VoiceOver Tina. Kicking off our first project, I'm using this floral foam wreath from Dollar Tree. And if you guys remember from my previous DIY video, I cut it in half and created a super trendy candle holder. And today I'm using the other half to create another trendy decor piece. First, I'm taking a small test tube and I'm pressing it into the center of the top of the wreath. And this is gonna give us a nice imprint and I'm gonna use that as a guide to cut with my X-Acto knife. So I'm cutting this all the way through and it definitely takes a little bit of time, especially since this foam is pretty thick, but something I find that really helps is just to cut it in small sections at a time. So as you can see, I'm going to cut X's into it as well as take it off layer by layer until it goes all the way through. I also went back and forth between the top and the bottom of the hole until it was large enough to fit our test tube. Although this foam is pretty dense, I wanted to add some weight to it to really hold it in place, so I went ahead and mixed in some lightweight spackling from Dollar Tree as well as some grout into some water to create a paste. And with a Dollar Tree foam brush, I'm going to give the wreath a nice thin layer of this mixture. In my last DIY video, I used grout to cover a vase and it was really great to add some weight to it, but also gave it a really nice ceramic look. So I wanted to try it again for this project, and honestly, I have a lot of grout left over from my tile planter project, so finding new ways to use it is always a plus. And as you can see, I'm kind of just brushing it in any direction to give it a nice organic texture rather than just doing up and down strokes in one direction. So I'm letting this dry down and repeating this process a couple more times until the wreath has a nice coat. My friend Katie Bookser actually covered a foam wreath with some plaster and water and I thought that looked really awesome, so I definitely suggest experimenting with what you have at home to get a ceramic look. And as you're doing this, you don't have to worry too much about covering that green just because we're going to paint it afterwards. This piece is totally inspired by a West Elm candle holder, but we're going to turn it into a little propagation/bud vase, so take inspo from this project how you'd like to make it your own. So here's how it's looking all covered up, and I'm going to go ahead and use a terracotta spray paint by Rust-Oleum. So not only is this color great, but the texture is awesome. It really makes anything you spray it with look like real terracotta, and you guys probably already know I'm a huge fan of that. After 2 coats of the terracotta spray paint, I went ahead and gave this even more texture with this sandstone spray paint. As you can see on the cap, this is how it's supposed to look with full coverage, but I just wanted to add some speckling, so as we're spraying it, we're going to do a little light spritz further away from the piece. I also found that if you get too much of this in one area, you can actually just take a napkin and dab it off pretty easily. And as a last step, I'm going to go ahead and give this a matte clear spray paint to finish it off. Okay you guys, I'm pretty obsessed with how this came out. Arches are so popular in home decor right now, and this is a great piece for a little propagation station or even to use as a dried floral bud vase. I love the speckling that we gave to it. This totally looks high-end and is a great dupe for the West Elm inspired piece. So I'm interrupting VoiceOver Tina to talk about today's video sponsor, ButcherBox. I actually have my box right here, so let me show you guys what I got. It's a huge box. I really like their branding. I don't know, but to me, branding is important. So this is really cute. It says, "Better meat for a better you, humanely raised, no antibiotics or added hormones ever," which is really awesome. And I'm so excited to just make a meal tonight with some of their meats. And as you guys can see, there is a lot in there and it looks so good. But one thing that I really love, and also what Brian really loves, is the fact that the nutrition labels are on the back. So usually if you go to the butcher, you don't really get all the nutritional info. So this is really handy so you can keep track of everything. It's something that I really appreciate that they include in here. Oh, I just realized it's upside down. Oops. For my box, we ordered filet mignon, which I've never cooked before, so I'm really excited to make this in a week or two. So if you're not already familiar with ButcherBox, they are a meat delivery service with high quality meats. So all of their beef is 100% grass fed and all their chickens are free range. They also have humanely raised pork and wild caught seafood. So it's great that you're not only getting quality, but you're getting meat at an affordable price for less than $6 a meal straight to your door. So each month you can select your plan as well as the meats you like, and I think that's really awesome because you can really switch it up to whatever you're feeling for that month. Not to mention you can cancel at any time without any penalties, so that is really great, and shipping is always free. And one of the things that I really love about ButcherBox is that they are really big on sustainability. So the farmers they work with use sustainable farming methods, and the box it comes in is made out of recycled materials, and it's also curbside recyclable, which is awesome. And right now ButcherBox is offering their essentials bundle for free with your first box. So this is super awesome, so you guys can try out a little bit of everything, and if you want to check them out, I will have all the details linked down below. Alright guys, let's go ahead and jump into the next project. For our next project, I'm using a simple gold frame from Dollar Tree, and I really love the details on this frame. I think the gold is absolutely perfect, so this is definitely a great find. I'm also using this small poster board from Dollar Tree, and we want to make sure that we're working with the flat side instead of the shiny side for this project. First, I'm cutting it down a bit, and then I'm going to use the back of the frame to trace this out. And this frame basically holds a 5x7 photo, and this is kind of the lazy way to do it instead of measuring it all out. For the inspo pic for our painting, I'm using the site Unsplash, and this is a great place to find free stock photos for whatever you need it for. So here's the photo I chose. It's a simple farmy mountain scene, and if you've seen the carbon copy hack that I shared a while ago, you can totally do that for this project. But I literally ran out of printer ink, so I'm gonna use this lightbox hack instead with my iPad. So essentially all I'm doing is putting my paper over my iPad, and this is basically going to act as a light box. You can turn on your lights a little bit just to see it better, but I'm basically just going to lightly trace this, and this does not have to be perfect at all. So now that we have our basic sketch down, it's time to paint. I'm using acrylic paints for this project, and I'm pulling the colors from the original image, so I have it here on the side to use as a reference as I work on this, but I'm mostly using shades of green, blue, white, black, and brown. As for the style of the image, we're going to do a very abstract, loose landscape painting. So I'm working on the background first with the clouds and the sky. And as you can see, I'm doing very linear strokes back and forth, and that's basically going to be the technique to create this piece. This is super inspired by popular paintings I've seen carried at places like McGee and Co, Minted, and even Target. I think these are definitely having a moment, and I absolutely love the look of them. So I'm using the sketch as a guide for each section of the painting. So the top we have our background with our sky, and in the middle is our midground of the mountains, and of course our foreground we have our grass. So this is a really beautiful and calming composition. I know the style of this is much different from my typical boho DIYs that I share on my channel, but honestly this was really just a way for me to challenge myself with this style of painting. This is a great way to experiment with color theory, so you'll see that I'm just mixing in whites and blacks into my base colors, and I'm really just letting the paint colors take over. And what's great about abstract art is that you definitely don't need to be perfect with this at all. It's supposed to be very loose with the shapes and colors just to resemble that landscape image, and using these techniques is really going to help you achieve that. As someone who loves drawing and illustrating lines, painting like these are actually pretty difficult for me to do. Automatically, my hands just want to create definitions with lines, but with this style, the only lines that we have is our sketch underneath, so you really just have to depend on your brush to do all of the work. The paintbrush that I'm using is actually also from Dollar Tree, and this project is definitely something that you can do with whatever you have at home, but I wanted to show you guys that you definitely do not need fancy tools and materials to create a beautiful piece of art. And that's really what my channel is all about. I share these project ideas as inspiration so that you guys are equipped with tips and tricks that you can implement for any project. So whether you recreate this piece or not, you can definitely learn something new to help create your next project. And for me, being creative stems from working with what you've got and just experimenting with new techniques to create something that is unique to you. And all it takes is some creativity and your magic hands to make it happen. One big tip that I have for you guys is to use the color brown to tone things down and make them look really earthy. I think this adds in a lot of depth to the colors, so you're not just using black and white, which can sometimes make your colors fall flat. What's also great about this piece is that you can layer on as much paint as you want and just go through each section to add more and more of that paint on. This is going to add so much texture to the piece and make it look even better. And I would definitely suggest that you guys take a step back to look at it from far away from time to time. As you're working on a piece like this, staring at it closely for a while will kind of distort your view of it. I definitely walked away from this project a couple of times just to let it dry, and whenever I did that, it really allowed me to look at it again with some fresh eyes. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with it at this point, so I'm just gonna let that dry down completely. I used my handy dandy paper trimmer to cut it down to size, and then I just popped it into the frame without any glass. This painting totally looks like something you would find at a high-end store, and if you recreate this project in a larger scale, I think this would look so amazing in a living room or a dining room. This is definitely a piece that's going to make a statement, and what's awesome about it is that you guys created it yourself. I learned so much and had so much fun making this piece, and I hope that my tips will help you guys create your own special piece for your homes as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the projects from today's video. Let me know in the comments down below which one was your favorite. And as per usual, I can't choose one, so I would love to know your thoughts. And again, I want to thank ButcherBox for sponsoring today's video. I made that steak last night and honestly, it was so good. I was honestly really impressed with our cooking skills, and you can definitely taste a difference in the quality of the meat. So if you guys want to check them out for yourself, make sure that you click on the link down below so that you get their free essentials bundle, and all the details will be below in the description box. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below for new videos every single week. And be sure to tag me on Instagram if you recreate any of the projects from today's video. I love seeing all your projects, so I will put them on the screen over here. You guys have seriously been DIYing a storm, and I don't know if I should start a hashtag on Instagram, and if you think I should, let me know in the comments so then I can come up with one and we can all tag it together. So that's it for me today, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!